Welcome to DCOPS video training. In this presentation, I will demonstrate how to complete the job position location data entry screen in DCOPS. If you are beginning at the main menu, you can access the contract data entry screens by selecting the contract link under Processing Options to the left of the contract number of the contract in question. Remember that if the contract link is grayed out, this means that the contract is currently in a status that does not allow for editing. Clicking on the contract link always takes you to the first data entry screen, Contract Details. From here you can navigate to the Job Position Location data entry screen in two ways. On the left is a light blue box with links to each data entry screen. To move to the Job Position Location data entry screen, simply click the Job Position Location link in the blue box. You can also navigate to the Job Position Location data entry screen by clicking the Save and Continue button repeatedly until you arrive at the Job Position Location data entry screen. On the Job Position Location data entry screen, you will find many features that are common in DCOPS. In the blue bar at the very top of the screen is the data entry screen name. In the gray bar just below that are three links: Log Out of DCOPS, Main Menu, and DCOPS Technical Support. Clicking Log Out of DCOPS will immediately log you out, but will not save any data that has been entered since the last save. Clicking Main Menu will return you to the main menu or dashboard, again without saving. Clicking DCOPS Technical Support will allow you to send a message to our office asking for assistance with DCOPS. There are three buttons across the top of the data entry area: Review Application, Submit to DOCPER, Save and Continue, and Cancel. Clicking Review Application, Submit to DOCPER will cause DCOPS to check for all required information and documentation, and if the application is viewed as complete, you will be asked to confirm that you would like to submit the contract package for review. Clicking the Save and Continue button will save the data you have entered and advance you to the next data entry screen. Clicking Cancel will simply stop what you are doing without saving any data. The purpose of the Job Position Location data entry screen is to allow you to fully identify the job type, job title, pre-approved position title, number of approved positions required, minimum salary, and work location for each job position associated with the contract or task order in question. The information provided on this data entry screen is central to the status accreditation process. Remember that contracts do not receive NATO SOFA status. Individuals receive NATO SOFA status, and that status is always associated with a specific approved position under a specific approved contract. Care should be taken to ensure that the job position location information is entered correctly and completely. When you are ready to add a job position, begin by clicking the link that says, "To add a job position, click here." The first task of data entry on this page is simply to select the correct job type for the position in question. There are four possible job types to choose from: Technical Expert, Analytical Support, Troop Care or Troop Care IT, and Non-Privileged. Choose Technical Expert if the duties of the job position are technical in nature and can be described using hands-on words such as designs, installs, configures, troubleshoots, repairs, or upgrades. Choose Analytical Support if the duties of the job position are analytical in nature and can be described using mental activity words such as reports, recommends, analyzes, or plans. Choose Troop Care if the job position is for individuals that will provide direct care to troops, such as doctors, nurses, or dentists. You should also choose Troop Care if the job positions will be for technical experts that will provide services to troop care providers, for example, IT support in a hospital. Choose Non-Privileged if the job position does not fit any of the previous categories and therefore will not qualify for NATO SOFA status accreditation. If you are uncertain about the category for a particular job position, please contact DOCPER for guidance and assistance. Please note that it is possible to have job positions under a contract that are for both technical experts and for analytical support. It is not possible, however, to have other combinations of accredited positions. Non-privileged job positions are possible under any contract. While it is not necessary to report all non-privileged positions associated with a contract, it is helpful when such positions are reported. You are therefore encouraged to report any non-privileged job positions associated with a particular contract or task order. You may select the job type for the position location in question by clicking the radio button to the left of the job type in question. The next task of data entry is to enter the contract job title. The contract job title is simply the title of the job position as it will be referred to in DCOPS. The contract job title should match exactly the job title included on the associated position description that will be submitted to DOCPER. It is not necessary for the contract job title to be found in the contract or task order in question. It is not necessary for the contract job title to be the exact title used by the vendor. It is best if the contract job title conveys in simple form what a person in that position will do. Contract job titles should not include proprietary system names, acronyms, or jargon. For example, the job title referred to by the vendor as a high-tech specifically named system developer or HTSNS developer might appropriately be titled in DCOPS as simply a developer/programmer. To enter the contract job title, simply type the job title in the data entry field. If you have selected Analytical Support or Troop Care as the job type, then the next task of data entry is to select an associated pre-approved position title. You will notice that if you select a job type of either Analytical Support or Troop Care, a drop-down list will appear under the contract job title. For both of these job types, there are pre-approved position titles that must be mapped to the contract job title of each position in question. The pre-approved position titles are listed on the drop-down list. Information about the pre-approved position titles is available on the DOCPER webpage or from any member of DOCPER staff. It is important that the mapping of the contract job title to pre-approved position title be done correctly, so please feel free to coordinate with DOCPER staff in making the mapping decision. To select a pre-approved position title, simply click the down arrow to see the drop-down list and then click the title that best matches the job position in question. The next task of data entry is to enter the number of required positions for this job, position, and location. It may help if you think of a fully approved contract as being composed of sets of seats that will be occupied by the contractors providing the services under the contract. Each unique set of seats would be identified by a contract job title and work location. The number of seats in each set is determined here by entering the number of positions for this job location. Before entering the number of positions for this job location, consider carefully how many positions of this type and title will likely be needed at this particular location. The number of positions should be adequate for the level of effort expected, but should not be excessive. The decision regarding the number of approved positions for a particular job position title at a particular location should be closely coordinated with the vendor, particularly for performance-based contracts. To enter the number of positions for the job location, simply type the number into the data entry field. The next task of data entry is to enter the minimum unloaded annual salary associated with the job position in question. Please remember that the number entered here is intended to be a general minimum salary associated with a particular job position and should not be any particular person's salary. The amount entered here must be an unloaded salary, which means that it should not be the amount billed by the vendor to the government and should not include any overhead charges or any overseas specific benefits. The minimum salary associated with a particular job position is used as a general indicator for the level of skill, expertise, or education required of a position, as it is generally assumed that jobs requiring more skill, expertise, or education will be better paid. You should expect that an individual application submitted that indicated a salary of less than the minimum salary associated with the approved position would be subject to scrutiny and would create doubt about the validity of the position in question. Minimum salary, then, must be high enough to accurately reflect the level of skill, expertise, and education required for the position, but not so high as to not truthfully be a minimum salary. To enter the minimum salary, simply type the numbers into the data entry field without commas or decimals. The final task of data entry on this page is to identify the location where the work will be performed. You can identify the location in two ways. It is possible that you may find the location on the current location drop-down list. The preferred method, though, is to simply enter the location information into the data fields below. If you look at the drop-down list, you will notice quite a bit of duplication. You will not, however, see information about the location sufficient in order to determine if any particular location matches the location where these services will be performed. It is for this reason that we recommend that you enter location information into the data entry fields below. Please note that if you find a similar position location on the drop-down list, you can select it and then simply edit and update the information in the data entry fields in order to reflect the correct position location. If all information entered on this data entry screen is correct, click the Update Job Information button. This will save the data you have entered and return you to the job position location screen. If the information on this screen is incomplete, DCOPS will prevent you from saving the data and you will receive an error message indicating the missing information. Remember that you will need to add a job position for each position title at each job position location. To add an additional job position location or title, simply click the link To add job position, click here. Once you have entered all required job positions locations, you can proceed to the Work Synopsis data entry screen by clicking Save and Continue. Another data entry screen complete. Congratulations.